What's going on, everybody? I'm Jabby Coe. I'm still in New Jersey at my Aunt Teresa and Uncle Joe's place, hanging here on the East Coast, visiting family. If you've been watching all of my videos, you'll notice I'm in a different location. Previously, I was in the wine cellar. Now I'm in the upstairs guest bedroom. Why? Because I want that natural light. Because this movie's about nature. Natural light, nature. I don't know, Avatar: The Way of Water pitch meeting, that's what we're watching today. Thank you so much for joining me solo on this reaction. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this sucker up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. While you're doing all that, subscribe to Pitch Meeting's YouTube channel. There's a link in the description below if you'll be so kind to click on that and give the original an upvote. Subscribe to him from there. Full disclosure, I loved Avatar: The Way of Water. If you only watched my spoiler review, you'd think that I hated it, but that's where I had to load all my complaints because the other two videos was where I was showing it love and I couldn't give my complaints because those were spoiler related. I'm imagining this is spoiler related, so if you haven't watched the movie yet, you might want to click out now. All right, let's jump into this. Here we go.
So, you have a movie for me?
Yes, bro, I do. I think it's about time for another Avatar movie.
Oh yeah, bring those blue kitty cats back in here. I can't wait to see what's going on with, the main character.
Jake Sully. Right, no, I know. That's a thing that I knew for more than 1 week.
That is something I've actually struggled with in my reviews. This is something I kind of struggle with movies in general, if the name is not super memorable, and I always feel bad or stupid for not, like, knowing the name. Knowing that Ryan George, you know, I mean, he's putting it out there that he couldn't even remember the characters' names. I appreciate that. I relate to that because I didn't remember most people's names in these movies. Except now I do. Jake Sully and Neytiri. That's it.
For more than 1 week in December 2009.
Well, Jake Sully's back, sir,
and we're heading back to that planet everybody knows and loves.
which is called
Pandora.
the Pandora. I said it at the same time as you, because of how much I love it and remember.
Great.
So I'm thinking we go big on this one. Like, I want to set a world record on this bad boy.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Highest grossing movie of all time. Maybe. So what?
Movie with the most frequent use of the word bro.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna say bro a crazy number of times.
Oh,
All right.
Bro. Is that gonna get annoying, maybe, you think?
It won't, bro, because
That's how kids talk these days, bro. It's brolatable.
Did you just say
It's brolatable?
Anyway, we're back on Pandora, and it's been like 10 years since the events of the first movie, and Jake has a bunch of kids.
getting busy with their tails or whatever is tight.
Yeah, so they did whatever that was, and now they have Neteyam, Loic, Tuk, and Kiri.
Is that one name?
No, that's 4 names.
Fascinating.
And so Kiri's like this teenager that was mysteriously born from Grace Augustine's Avatar. You know Sigourney Weaver's character from the first movie?
Oh, who are we gonna get to play this teenager?
I got just the person, Sigourney Weaver. You think it's gonna be kind of weird to hear a senior citizen's voice coming out of a kid? Well, yeah, maybe, but also, maybe not. Oh, I like those odds.
Anyway, so
I'm so glad he mentioned that. I felt a little bit alone in that opinion. I was wigged out when I heard Sigourney Weaver's voice. It wasn't helped by the fact that I just discovered that right before the show started. There were 2 guys next to me talking, and they said, oh yeah, Sigourney Weaver's playing one of the kids in this movie. I'm like, oh fuck. Why'd they have to? So when I heard Sigourney Weaver's voice, I could not unhear it and I could not unsee Sigourney Weaver. And I kept thinking to myself, it's so odd that this much older woman is calling this much younger guy, because like he's 46 and she's calling him daddy. It's just weird, you know? It's like your grandmother calling you daddy. It's just like, what the fuck? That's me, and I feel like I might be an outlier, and most people weren't wigged out by that or didn't even know.
Oh, I like those odds.
Anyway, so another kid they're raising is this human kid, Spider. And what's his deal?
Well, he's actually the son of Quaritch, you know, the main bad guy from the first movie.
Oh, and so who's gonna be the main bad guy in this movie?
Quaritch, you know, the main bad guy from the first movie.
Nice.
So, wait, no, he died in the first movie, I'm pretty sure. Whoops. Nope, not a whoopsie. You're not getting a whoopsie out of me. No whoopsie?
No whoopsie, sir.
See, the thing is, humans are actually back on Pandora now, and Jake is leading the resistance against them.
Okay.
And turns out the humans had a backup of Quaritch's mind and memory, so they shoved that into an avatar body.
Wow, well, I guess they really wanted the expertise of,
You know, a guy who did not succeed last time he tried something like this.
yeah, they put a bunch of money and resources into bringing back the best guy for the job, the guy who failed spectacularly last time and literally died.
It's not a bad plan, it's not a bad plan.
So anyway, Quaritch and his squad pretty much immediately run into Jake's kids, so Jake and Neytiri need to go save them.
Wow, well, that little squad doesn't stand a chance.
Hold on, I'm so stuck on what he just explained. I liked Quaritch. I thought he was a good villain. And even though he died I didn't think about the fact that he died in the first one and failed, essentially, and they're bringing back the guy who failed. But maybe there was no one better for the job. Maybe there was no one else they could have. I didn't think about that, to be honest with you. I'm kind of mad at Ryan George right now because I didn't think about that. I liked him as a villain for a second time. In fact, I feel like I liked him more this time than I did last time.
Quaritch and his squad pretty much immediately run into Jake's kids, so Jake and Neytiri need to go save them. Wow, well, that little squad doesn't stand a chance against Jake and his whole tribe. Oh, no, Jake and Neytiri don't bring any backup. Why not? So the movie can happen. Oh, okay. So Quaritch ends up kidnapping his son Spider, and Jake's like, well, I guess I gotta resign as head of the Resistance and move away with my family. What? Why? Well, if they stick around, they'd be putting everybody in danger. You know, they can't win a fight against Quaritch.
They literally did that in the last movie.
Oh. So they move away and go live with this water
That's
planet.
right.
It's all about water. Oh, water is different from forest. And for the next long stretch of the movie, it's gonna be kind of like a nature documentary with some teenage angst sprinkled in. And what's Jake gonna be up to? Oh, you're gonna like this. He's gonna lecture his kids a couple times.
I do like watching disciplinary lectures.
Everybody does. And so eventually Jake's son Loak becomes friends with a big old space whale.
A big old space whale?
A big old space whale. So they hang out, and then also Kiri has superpowers now. She can like communicate with creatures and whatnot.
Well, good for her.
Yeah, so she's having a great time. Pretty much the whole movie while people are arguing or fighting, she's just looking around like, oh. Okay, wow. Nice. But eventually the bad guys are gonna figure out where Jake is, so they're gonna keep on going with their mission of trying to kill him.
I'm sorry. Hold on, I want to see that again.
Pretty much the whole movie while people are arguing or fighting, she's just looking around like, oh. Okay, oh wow. Nice. But eventually the bad guys are gonna figure out where Jake is, so they're gonna keep on going with their mission of trying to kill him.
Well, I mean, Jake's gone and he's not the leader of the Resistance
Exactly.
anymore. Why is their top priority still trying to take him out?
Exactly.
Well, you see, that's the plot of the movie.
Exactly.
Now, Quaritch teams up with these people
Exactly.
who actually hunt those big old space whales, and they want to kill some of them to lure Jake out.
Why do those guys hunt big old space whales?
Because their frickin' brain juice stops people from aging.
So what happened to that stuff the humans were after in the first movie?
Unobtainium?
Yeah.
They were unable to obtain it.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, that checks out.
But the thing about these big old space whales is that they're very hard to kill.
Then how'd they find out about the magical brain juice in the first place?
I don't know. Well, okay then. So then Jake and the ocean people do get lured out.
That one's a little weak. I feel like maybe they killed one. They can be hard to kill and still have killed at least one or two, or that's funny. But I feel like that's easily explainable.
So then Jake and the ocean people do get lured out, and there's gonna be a big old fight. Oh boy, here we go. And a big old space whale's gonna help them out, and it's gonna be crazy, and Neytiri is gonna die.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so the Sully family are very sad, but Quaritch and a couple of his guys are still alive.
Well, it's gonna be hard for a couple of bad guys to stand a chance against all the ocean people.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cause see, it's actually just gonna be Jake and his family fighting these dudes now.
What? What happened to the ocean people?
Oh no, those guys, they all left. They had to go away.
They're just not there for the final fight.
Yeah, no, because there was like some fire on the water, so they gotta, head out. They
I didn't even
gotta
think
leave
about
early.
that.
Yeah, they dive into the water under the fire.
Hey, shut up. And so the big final action scene is gonna take place on this big ship that's sinking.
Isn't that kind of similar to...
Yeah, James Cameron specifically requested that. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, this guy frickin' hates when sea vessels float as intended.
He really does. And so then Jake is gonna manage to choke Quaritch unconscious and let him sink to the bottom.
Wow.
But then that spider kid's gonna save him.
What? Why?
Sequel.
He probably just caused a lot of future pain and suffering for his loved ones.
Sequel.
Yeah, no, all right, you make a good point.
And so that's about it. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the first movie made an insane amount of money, so I'm pumped. Let's get this out ASAP.
Let's do it.
What are you thinking, like a 2014 release date?
That sounds like a great release year. Let's lock it in.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, Ryan Jordy here. Thank you for watching that pitch meeting. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you like the other videos, and we have other videos on the channel too. So be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, goodness.
I think I nailed that.
Yes, you did. Indeed, you did, Ryan George. That was great. That's one of my favorite pitch meetings that he's done so far. That's definitely up there as a instant classic. When I watched Avatar: The Way of Water, one of the first things I said was, the plot is dumb. I mean, not the plot, the premise, even the plot. It's all kind of dumb. But the thing is, it's such a beautiful movie. And I had a ton of fun hanging out on the ocean, hanging out with the whales, the space whales, hanging out with just this environment and the visual effects and everything. Like, it all was very captivating, And that was in spite of the HFR, in spite of the 3D I didn't care for. In spite of all that, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fantastic. James Cameron knows how to make something entertaining. It's in this perfect spot between intelligent action and Fast and the Furious, I guess. guess it's not quite like smart action, but it's not quite dumb, like check your brain at the door. It's somewhere in between in a sweet spot, because I can recognize the inherent flaws of the movie, but it's still beautiful and fun. Stuff that you pointed out, I'm like, where did they all go? Like, why weren't they part of that fight? What the hell happened there? Because they were part of it initially, and then they just... I don't even remember exactly what happened and what the transition was to not have them present anymore. The thing about Bro, I didn't mind that at all, and I think it's just because of it's part of my colloquial, so to speak, or I just hear it all the time. It didn't faze me even in the slightest. It's not just like American lingo, but it, I would imagine that surfer, islander lingo, it's all there, it's baked in, so I just took that as part of the language, part of the speak. I'm really, really happy Ryan George pointed out the fact that, like, Jake left. Why are they still... Why? Like, why is he still why are resources being expended? How many millions of dollars were being spent to hunt Jake down? How much money was being used to try to find this one guy who was the leader of the resistance that's no longer part of the resistance? Like, he wasn't in the way anymore. So why are you still looking for him? I was thinking about it while watching the movie. I had fun nonetheless. I understand this is where James Cameron wants to point the camera. This is where James Cameron wants to spend time. I get it. So I enjoyed it anyway. As far as Sigourney Weaver's character just kind of basking in the glory of this new environment, his imitation of her was hilarious. I had so much so I had to watch it twice. But I actually really enjoyed that aspect of the film. I enjoyed spending time with her character, just soaking it all in, because I was soaking it all in just like her. So I was sort of identifying with her character in those moments, but it was still hilarious the way he was making fun of it. I thoroughly enjoyed the shit out of this video, and I hope you guys did too. Please let me know your feelings in the comments below. Did you laugh as much as I did, or more? I'm Jabby Kaway. Peace out.